Hello, everyone, and a massive warm welcome to all our Technical Teacher Certificate trainees. It's absolutely fantastic to have you with us today. Look, you are about to step into one of the most dynamic environments out there, the live classroom. And to truly succeed, just knowing your subject inside out, well, that's simply not going to cut it. You need the practical tools to actually command a room. So today, we're unpacking the ultimate pedagogical masterclass. We are focusing on the very keys to effective teaching, giving you that rock-solid foundation for complete experiential classroom transaction. Let's get started. Okay, let's look at the golden rule here. Attention plus motivation equals effective learning. It literally is as simple and honestly as profound as that. Think of this as the foundational secret to mastering any live classroom transaction. You could have the absolute best, most brilliant lesson plan on the planet, but without these two essential ingredients, the transaction just falls flat. They're basically the twin engines of your classroom, and today we're going to figure out exactly how to ignite both of them. Now, what we're discussing today is essentially the master educator's blueprint. It's the entire architecture of a truly effective classroom all in one place. We're going to break down the core definitions, how to actually use them in your teaching, the exact step-by-step methods to gain them, and why they matter so much. We'll be deconstructing this entire concept piece by piece. So by the end of this explainer, you're going to walk away with a highly effective foundational teaching toolkit ready to take straight into your institutions.
So here is our roadmap for the day. First, we'll cover the effective learning formula. Second, defining your core tools. Third, transforming the classroom experience. Fourth, practical strategies for teachers. And finally, achieving long-term success.
All right, let's jump straight into part one, the effective learning formula, the math behind a perfect classroom. And building right on top of that foundational math, we move into part two, defining your core tools. We really need to understand attention and motivation. You see, effective teaching isn't some mystical magic trick that only a lucky few are born with. Not at all. It starts with a clear academic understanding of what we're actually working with. Let's put these two concepts side by side. Attention, simply put, is the focusing of the mind on a particular object, activity, or lesson. It's active, it's immediate. It's your student physically looking at you and processing your words right in that present moment. Now, motivation, that's the inner force that encourages a person to do something unachievable. So think of it this way. Attention is the external focus, while motivation is that deeper internal driving force. One gets them to actually look at the whiteboard, and the other gets them to genuinely care about what you're writing on it. Moving right along to section 3, transforming the classroom experience, let's look at how these tools actually change the environment. Let's map out the parallel tracks of these two teaching tools, because honestly, they are strictly necessary for your survival and your success in a live setting. Look at what happens when you command attention. It literally physically quiets the room. It helps students focus, which drastically improves their understanding and retention of whatever you're teaching. By cutting out those distractions and that background noise, your classroom interactions become incredibly effective. Now, on the flip side, motivation inspires a deep, genuine interest in the subject itself. When a technical topic gets really difficult, and it will, motivation is what increases their effort and perseverance. Ultimately, this internal drive is what leads to better academic results. So, attention quiets the room, and motivation pushes the student forward. Okay, let's get into the really actionable stuff in section 4. Practical strategies for teachers. This is your experiential toolkit. So we know the theory, right? But let's step on to the actual classroom floor. The absolute most crucial question is this: how do we actively gain attention and inspire students in a live setting? Picture yourself walking into a noisy room of 40 technical students. How do you completely transform that dynamic? Take a quick second to just visualize your own physical presence as a teacher before we dive into the answers. All right, here are your 5 experiential steps to truly command attention. Number 1, start with an interesting activity or story. You've got to hook them from the very first minute, maybe with a real-world engineering problem. Number 2, use clear voice, eye contact, and body language. Seriously, your physical presence, like a sudden change in your volume or even a deliberate pause, is your greatest teaching aid. Number 3, ask questions and encourage responses. Don't just stand there and lecture. Initiate a real dialogue. Number 4, use teaching aids, models, and visuals. Give their eyes something to anchor on. Don't just talk about how a motor works. Show them a diagram, or better yet, bring the physical component right into the room. And number 5, make the class interactive and participative. A busy student is an attentive student for sure.
Okay, now we shift gears. How do we cultivate that internal drive and inspire motivation? Number 1, give praise and appreciation. In a tough technical certificate course, just a few kind words can completely change a student's entire trajectory. Number 2, set clear goals and expectations. They need to know exactly what they're working toward by the end of the term. Number 3, relate lessons to real-life situations. You have to make those abstract engineering concepts matter to their everyday commute or the appliances in their homes. Number 4, provide rewards and recognition for a job well done. And finally, number 5, encourage independence and self-confidence. Because when you build a confident learner, you're building a lifelong learner, someone who's going to keep upskilling long after they leave your institute.
Which brings us perfectly to our final part, Section 5, Achieving Long-Term Success and the Ultimate Impact This Has on Students. So what actually happens when you consistently apply these tools day in and day out throughout your career? Honestly, the overarching importance of this cannot be overstated. Beyond just facilitating quick learning and bumping up participation, it fundamentally improves classroom discipline. Think about it. A motivated and attentive class simply doesn't misbehave because they're far too engaged in the work. And most importantly, it leads to enduring academic success and true personality development. Remember, you aren't just teaching a syllabus here. You are shaping human beings who are going to go out there and build and maintain our modern world. I want this thought to really fully resonate with you as future educators. Attention brings students to the lesson, and motivation keeps them in the lesson. These two forces have to work together in perfect harmony to make teaching truly effective and learning truly meaningful. Because if you don't have their attention, the door is closed. And if you don't have their motivation, well, they're not going to stay in the room for very long. Attract attention, inspire motivation, achieve success. This right here is your pedagogical mantra. Write it down, memorize it, and carry it with you into your very first experiential classroom transaction. You've got the blueprint, folks. Now, it's time to go out there and build the future. So what kind of environment are you going to create on your very first day? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer today, and I wish you all the absolute best on your journey to becoming master educators.